everyone, Dave Penyuk of Revenue.com, and today I'm going to follow up on a little bit of what she said. She being Julie, of course. Julie Broad, my wife and investing partner, and wonderful all-around person. So she had mentioned that, talking about waiting, there's never going to be a perfect time to become a full-time investor, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. So make sure you watch her video because I'm not going to reiterate all of the different things she said. But the big point was that there's never going to be a perfect time. And but the other point that I wanted to address, and I think it's very important, is that if you are going to take that leap of faith, you're going to have some belief in yourself, and you are going to try and become a full-time investor. Before you do that, you might want to just make sure, and she addressed this to some extent, is how are you going to pay the bills for the next 3, 6, 9, even 12 months after you leave your job? And that's really, really important. And I'm not saying you're going to have everything perfect, right? A lot of people say, I just need to have that $10,000. I just need to replace my job income and all will be fine. And it's not going to happen. At least if you really want to live the life of your dreams, you're going to have to take the leap of faith before you completely replicate your income. And I can go down a whole path about you don't need to replicate your income as a real estate investor because you can write off almost everything. Everything that you buy basically is before tax versus as a paid employee, it's all after tax. So there's a ton of neat ways to become a full-time investor, and you don't need to completely replace your income. But before you do make that leap of faith, look at how are you going to pay your bills. And one way you need to do that is make sure you have a budget. Just put together a simple budget using an Excel spreadsheet. How much do you spend on groceries every month? How much do you spend on the gym memberships? How much do you spend, et cetera, et cetera? And make sure you do this with your household so that you know roughly what your costs are going to be. And then look at obviously your current portfolio. What sort of honest cash flow do you bring in from your properties? Can it pay for those things, right? Maybe you live without cable or you live without going out to fancy restaurants for a few months as you reestablish yourself as a full-time investor. But put together that budget. That's the first thing I do. Make sure you track at least 3 to 6 months before you have a true idea of what your average monthly expenses are. Look at your average monthly income from everything outside of your job. Can it pay for it as is? If not, what are you going to do then to make sure that those bills are paid for? One of the things you could consider is, as Julie mentioned, maybe being a consultant back to your industry, maybe becoming a realtor, maybe doing some other strategies. But another thing you could do is even sell one of your properties. Maybe look at your portfolio. Maybe one of your properties isn't performing very well, but you've got 50, 60, 70,000 in net equity in that property. Maybe if you sell that property, just put it as a nest egg while you build that business. So just have a bit of a plan before you take that leap of faith. But if you go through those exercises that I just discussed, you'll not only not need the perfect opportunity or the perfect timing to leave, but at least you'll have a plan in place ready to take on the full-time real estate investing position and all the freedom that it can bring you. So until next time, Dave Penyuk of Revenue.com.